Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for some more Smite action. My name is F. Dot. It's still F. Dot. I'm joined here with Hindu Man.
Good job. You're on the ball. But we're going into another great game. I thought this is going to be Team SoloMid versus IIII. And IIII are trying to make a push for this. Like Team SoloMid are using Zimstar this week as well, I've thought, in the support role in replace of Trix Tank. So there's a bit of a mix-up in terms of that. So we're going to have to see how TSM perform with a replacement in Zimstar stepping in for Trix Tank this week. IIII, though, need to win this one to put the pressure on SK Gaming, especially because those two teams coming into this are both in the semi-final now, but they both want to try and get ahead of the other teams. So they're equal on points still right this moment.
Yeah, I definitely think TSM is a dominant name, and we've definitely seen them do very well. But I think that IIII is definitely capable of taking them down. They do have somebody new on their team, adapting. We spoke earlier about the drama, for lack of a better term, that IRAFer caused a little ruffling of the feathers for Team IIII. But adapting is here, and no pun intended, we'll see if he can adapt well and adjust to work with this team.
Well, one thing to note about adapting as well, if you've not seen him before, if you check out Masters Division in the rank scene, you will see this is one of the few EU players that is already ranked Masters. So that tells you about his sort of skill level going into this one at the moment. So guys, as we go into this one, you see the picks and bans coming on your screen. Don't forget to be tweeting into us, hashtag SWC. You'll see your messages at the bottom of the screen going by throughout the match. Tell us who you think is going to win, who's performed well this week, who do you think MVP should be? What do you think about the whole EU scene, and who do you think is going to go to LAN?
Yeah, I'm definitely very excited to see what's going to happen with the fan reaction for this fight. Because as I said, Team SoloMid is a big name. Everybody really likes Team SoloMid. But logically, IIII have a chance to win this out, especially with Zimstar playing support. Will attack that just a little bit. But IIII is definitely capable here. I see it.
Kumba hasn't been banned, and Kumba hasn't been first picked by probably the most well-known, or the first person to really get on the scene of Kumbhakarna, Durgis, who plays for IIII. They had the opportunity to pick up Kumbhakarna here, and they chose not to. And oh my goodness, TSM are hovering picks right now, and it's not Kumbhakarna.
Athena.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and lock in Athena Apollo. So the Habwa pick is an interesting choice. The Habwa first pick for IIII was basically Kivo Fred has been playing a lot of Habwa jungle.
That's true.
And Habwa jungle is interesting to deal with. You could shut down a Habwa, and if he doesn't get going, he doesn't get going. But if you do give him the opportunity to, he comes into your lane and hits you with the combo all by himself. So it's a great pickup. It's a powerful character in and of itself, but it's definitely, it's what we call a half and half pick, Hindu, where it's not exactly picked to just completely shut down Kubo. It's also picked because it's strong, and no Kumba for IIII at all.
Yeah,
now that's interesting.
I'm just so confused by that. Kumbhakarna is going to go through picks and bans unpicked here. This is really surprising that we've seen Athena and Geb chosen over Kumbhakarna. That's really shocking. One thing to shout out about that Habwa pick as well, you were talking about Kiva Fred's jungling ability, but last week we saw Game Hunter fight 4v1 and pick up 2 kills.
Very true. Very true. So it's a number of people on Team SoloMid.
It's a good pick away from TSM.
Exactly. Great pick. So, something interesting. So Zimstar doesn't traditionally play support. Zimstar can play all the roles in Smite to a high level. It's why he's an all-purpose catch-all fill-in for Team SoloMid, in addition to being their coach.
That's right.
Support isn't exactly his number one of the 5 roles, and it might be experience with Kumbhakarna. He might just have more time under his belt as Athena. The global ultimate can make up for positioning mistakes, and it really works out. The fact that there's no Kumbhakarna in this match is definitely an interesting tidbit on the side of IIII. I'm very curious as to this situation, and knowing how good Durgius is, IIII support, knowing how good he is with Geb, knowing how good he is with Kumbhakarna, he better be very good with Geb.
I mean, his Geb was his old staple for Durgis before
Yeah.
Kumba Connor was on the scene. He was known very prominently in the EU scene for having a very strong Geb. However, to pick it over the likes of Kumba Connor says that they've got a game plan in mind. And with just those 3 picks on the board for them at the moment from I5, you can see it's going to be Blink Cataclysm into Crushing Wave Sonic Boom combination of Doom. That's generally what it looks like. But the one thing I want to talk about TSM's side here, they've picked up Agni and they banned away Ul, which is going to force Sanentry into a Neath pick here, which I think is a very good call from TSM.
Yeah, Sonotry likes to play an aggressive hunter lane where Neath doesn't really fit that mentality. Neath is generally a little more passive, as we see her go ahead and get thrown up on the screen. She's a little more passive and played a little less aggressive, but we're going to see the Chronos. Chronos is undoubtedly going to be going into the solo lane for Game Hunter. This is I really like to see Chronos played, personally. I think he's got an interesting kit, and I think everybody out there likes watching Game Hunter play Chronos. He's one of the only people that really bring him out consistently in a competitive environment and can make it work.
So we're going to see from both teams here, if we look at them on paper, we can see Agni versus a Habois. Both of them have very high burst damage available to them. In the jungle, we're going to see Mercury and Thor, very, very mobile, scary damage-dealing junglers. And then on top of that, we've got 2 hunters that both have globals that can affect these fights as well, F-Dot. On paper, if you had to choose one, who would you look at? Just on paper.
It's hard to tear me away
It's
from
tough.
Game Hunter Chronos. It really is, but it's a tough choice. It's a tough choice. Advert's going to be playing the Zhang Kui. EU has been playing Zhang Kui just a little bit. I like it. And not for nothing, I think the God card we have out here showing the choice, I think it's hilarious. Look at his eyes.
Look at his eyes.
He is
Ridiculous.
ready for some action, just like you guys should be. So
Should
stay
be, yeah.
tuned. We're gonna turn into some more Smite action. We're gonna see how Advert does with those crazy eyes in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back, young chat. My name is F. I'm joined here by my co-caster, Hindu Man, and we are getting into the fray. We're getting into the action. We're getting into the semifinals. I5 versus Team SoloMid.
Now, with this game as well, SK Gaming are facing off against Cloud9 on the other side of the bracket. Team SoloMid and Cloud9 confirmed to go to the LAN. However, both I5 and SK started this tournament on even points, and they're both in the same stage, facing off against the number 1, number 2 seeds in Europe right now, and they both want to win to make sure they get a lead over their opposition who started on the same thing. This is big for I5, but TSM stated at the start that Zimstar has come out to win this tournament today. He stated that to me at the start of this week, saying, we have come to win. We are not going to back down to anyone or give anyone 3 points. Even though we've qualified, we want to win.
Yeah, that's an important point to note. Mathematically, TSM, their magic number is 0. They need no more wins to go to LAN. They're guaranteed it, but they still want to play hard. They still want to play deep and strong. As you know, we mentioned before at the North American broadcast, these games are the way the scene works right now, Hindu Man. These games are still all about pride, and pride
Definitely.
is really, really important. And if there's any, I'm sure most organizations feel this way, but if there's any organization that doesn't want to give anything up, it's going to be Zimstar and the rest of Team SoloMid.
Oh, for sure. Team SoloMid are one of these brands now that are known in the esports world for really high levels of competition, and you can see the camp's being split at the moment. Game Hunter trying to steal it away, not going to find it today though. On the other side, you see Sanitary trying to do the same thing, and I think he actually got one there.
Yeah,
Did
he went ahead and got one. Team SoloMid picks up the other. You see the big spike in the graph, and it comes out just below. Right now, with the death of the jungle camps, we're going to see about an even game. So I think Team SoloMid got a single harpy. Right now, Zimstar is very low.
Yeah, Zimstar is low at the moment. He's going to have to watch himself in that lane. He took a lot of damage from that blue buff as the fight over the mid camp meant that he fell further behind. And obviously, Durgis will take the same amount of damage, but being Geb, he's a bit tankier.
Yeah, Geb is going to have a couple more options to him at the start, and that's not something we traditionally say. Geb generally has a poor laning experience, but right now he's going deep. He's right in the middle of things, gets a good knockup onto Zimstar. He's also going to take a
Right-hand side! Advert's in trouble, gets the double tap from Cuba from a Great Wall, and now Adapting's in problems with that Mercury. Going to have to back to his tower. He's going to be very low as well, but first blood going to TSM as the aggression is still being played on.
That kill's going to go on to Cubo. Fred Giving the
On
jungle the
4.
first kill is never a good thing. Adapting sitting very low underneath the tower, and Cubo is just lurking, waiting for him to make a mistake.
Yeah, gonna continue around the side, look for the double tap if he can get a wall off, which does connect. There's a double tap. There's the killer. Game Hunter gets that one. Adapting hung around too long after, and already TSM is showing that they ain't giving up any points this week.
Team SoloMid has definitely come out to play. Advert's back in lane, and he's already 50% HP. Trading with Game Hunter does not seem to be going favorably right now. And even in the left-hand lane, Zimstar low, but Sanitry is low as well. If you trade your support for this Hunter kill, that's worth it. But right now, not able to get enough poke onto the knee.
Well, Sanitry does have the ability to sustain a little bit better with that too, being able to just heal off the minions as well. So it's not going to be too bad about being a little bit low, as you can see he's using it there to poke down Zimstar even more. And you can see what i5's game plan was coming into this F-Dot, abuse Zimstar and keep the pressure on him. But on the other side of the map, TSM were like, okay, we're just going to go hard in the solo lane and on the jungler. And look at this, Fred's level 5 and he's looking to left lane.
He's up in the air looking for the stun. Zimstar's low. They're trying to bait. Down comes the stun, and
Great
down
dunk.
goes the knee. Trying to get Dirtius as well. Gets the double tap. He's very slow because of the Zimstar charge. Zim's trying to get in front. Can't quite pull it off.
One hit.
Not
Gotta
gonna
roll
chase.
out. Good
Tremendous
decision
strike.
not to. Yeah, really, really tremendous. And that's the difference, though, that I've always said about TSM and Cloud9. When TSM get a lead, they like to hold on it and slowly dismantle you and only take things that are worth it overall without risking too much. Cloud9, on the other hand, the more riskier side. As you see Cubo in mid lane again, the bomb's going to connect. And you can see Athena's there too. Great crushing wave to disengage, though. Sonic Boom across going to possibly trade this around. Cubo's in trouble, but so is Lloydie. Lloydie's going to drop. Adapting trades 1-for-1. Dirges is here now. But so is Game Hunter, and Apollo is dunking down. Smek is out for blood. The Whirlweaver's going to connect onto him, but Adapting's in a whole world of pain. Not going to find a kill. 5-for-1, 3 minutes in the game. This is a fast-paced game.
It's okay to let your support die as long as you can make something else happen, and that's what's happening right now in Team SoloMid comms. Zimstar is saying that he doesn't mind that he died because they picked up the mid laner, which is Habois, somebody incredibly important to shut down, and just as we discussed in the SK game, shutting down a Hunter is also extremely important. They get the kill onto Sanitry, so Smek is a level up. They get the kill onto Lloydie, so now the mid lane is a level, 2 levels up. Actually 1.5 levels. Lloydie just hit level 6. It's going to provide them booms across the board. And Thor's
Looking for
more.
Alpha. Gonna find him. Wall connects as well, followed by the slowing stuff from Game Hunter's gonna come out as well. Great pressure, but you can see the recall demons. Game Hunter's in trouble. Gonna use the rewind though, just to rewind himself back to a decent HP pool. Those archer minions did a little bit of work, and now Adapting finally rotates over here. Gonna look for an opportunity on Cuba Fred. There's no wall placement just yet. Cuba's gonna find him though. Great wall just to disengage, or is it? Just get the major look to land, but that's going to be it for now. And Golden Experience, way ahead for TSM, 4 minutes in.
Definitely true. Zimstar actually didn't die. He's got 0 kills on himself, but he does have those Midas boots finished at the 5-minute Midas boots. That's intense. When you start off level 2 boots, it's because you're confident, and the 102 slash line is proving that it was the right choice. Those Midas boots are going to be a great boon for his goal.
Now, the one thing from i5 in the past, I mean, we talked about, all the drama llama surrounding i5 and how IREF had left them from their jungle position, but the old i5, before Adapting was on the team, were not an early game team. They lost very heavily in the early stages, didn't have a great laning phase, but always seemed to make the comebacks for themselves and get themselves known for their mid-game transition into team fights. And right now, it looks like they're going to have to go back to that again, F-Dot, and try and stop this bleed in the early game and hope their mid-game can stand up again. They've always had trouble with TSM and Cloud9.
Yeah, it's definitely not a gigantic lead. It seems like it, folks, but if you take a look at the number, it's less than 1,000 for both gold and experience. And as far as the kills, 1v5, it doesn't really matter much as long as the numbers make sense. Lloydie's going to get caught out here, stunned, but there's not much Lobster can really do. Back to 8-8 in the middle lane.
Good credit, though, to i5 to be able to get the experience and goal difference shut down again as Thor goes up looking for sanitary left-hand side. Is he going to find it? Not going to find the wall or the dunk this time round. Zimstar a little bit late to the party, not going to be able to find the taunt as Adapting turns back round. And Dirge's going aggressive. Whirlweaver onto Zimstar. Dirge's going to knock away Cuba Fred. Cataclysm on Zimstar. He seems to be the focus as the Sonic Boom connects as well. They trade one, but at what cost is Smek's in there with Cuba Fred now? And the back away from i5. Good, clean, 1-kill pickup. Mid-camp shooter spawn.
The great play by i5 targeting the squishy Athena. All Zimstar has is those Midas boots, so it's going to be a great pickup for them. Dirty's going to dodge the stun. Don't really know who got those middle camps.
That was close.
Honestly.
Yeah, I wanted you to call it because I was like, I'm not calling this one. I thought you take it because
both hogs went down. It looked like Hugo's hog went down after Dirgius's. But that doesn't really tell us who got it, but they're going to fight over the right hand. Man. Advert going to get stunned out. And
good shield.
Time rip hit with the Berserker Barrage, but gets stunned out. Shield. He's going to get out. Cubo Fred's looking for an exit, finds it. Zimstar as well. And that was a lot of violence for no kills.
No one dies for the time being. The web paper's going to go down and just forced to disengage from that. And a lot of that comes from Dirgis. That shield that he put onto Jean-Qui on Advert, that was the difference between him living and dying in that situation. The great rewind from Game Hunter. Make sure that nobody dies in that fight. And it's starting to pick up into a great game as the TSM do have a lead in golden experience that's stretched again due to the rotations from i5.
Yeah, fantastic. Just fantastic counterplay coming from i5. Not being put on tilt from that devastating start the Team SoloMid has had is very strong. Being able to come back and, well, not even come back because they weren't really put away. Right now, Team SoloMid has a larger lead than they did earlier, but i5 is responding correctly. They're coming back. They picked up Zimstar and backed off. They showed tremendous restraint, just like Team SoloMid did before, in not chasing the kills. They're finding it, and if they keep this up, they might be able to do something big.
Game Hunter is in trouble. Whirlweaver's going to connect. Are they going to do a follow-up to that? No, they're not, because he got back within tower range in a nice spot. Look at the rotation immediately to make sure that tower doesn't get pressured too much. And Kivo's going up. Lobster's also here. We're not going to see Lloydie join this fight, so it could be a 2v2. The dunk's not going to connect. Well, the wall, that's the question. It connects into Adaption, and that's going to be the focus. 2 Rains of Fire connects, and 1 onto Advert, actually. He's getting a lot of damage. He's now caught out of position, as you can see Zimstar rotating and then picking up the dunk with the Olympus.
And that's the reason Athena has been picked up so many times first. Kumbhakarna might be fantastic at many aspects of the game, but nobody can rotate from duo lane to solo lane with 1,000 hit besides Athena, and that rotation is absolutely fantastic, and it's why she's being picked up. Credit for the kill goes to Zimstar, although most of the work was done by Cubo and friends over there in the solo lane, so Zimstar does pick up that kill, and that's just going to help out his gold situation even more with those early Midas boots.
If Zimstar wins this week, then he's going to turn around to Trixtank and be like, what's up, Trixtank? Your job's not that hard. Look what I did, man. I can carry this team, you know. And so Trixtank's going to have to watch his back if this continues as it's going, because Zimstar's having a pretty good job in this lane right now. Good rotations coming out from him and showing why he's a good member of Team TSM in being their coach as well as their sub.
Well, Zimstar has a lot to prove right here, Hindu Man. We saw him come out a long time ago and covered for Cubo in the jungle. Played under a name called Zhao Zhao, showing credit to some Chinese Smite players.
Thor?
That was it was Thor, and he did absolutely fantastic as Dirgius gets attacked on. Great wall and great taunt. This could be the end, but a great stun into knockup from Lloydie. Good team
Lobster
coming out. Dirgius hit again. They need to hit him to bring
Sonic Boom! Not going to find it. Look for the aggression. Immediately jumps in the ways. Cuba Fred, but Zimstar's caught out. Zimstar's going to pay the price. And this is becoming a game of counter-ganking right now.
definitely is, and that's gonna be Zimstar's second death of the game, 2-2-2. But as I was saying, Zimstar has a lot to prove this time around. The first time we saw him play in the jungle, he played fantastically, but the last time he came out to sub for Team SoloMid, he basically lost the game for them. There was a lot of misplays on the way of Zimstar, and a lot of people credited the loss that week to Zimstar. So this time around, he really needs to bring the pain, like Cubo's about to as he's in the air.
He's got to look for the dunk. Lloydie's out of mana here. The beads and the shield coming out to protect Lloydie, but he's going to tower dive his Cuba and pick up the kill, and Dirges can just stand and watch. There's nothing he's got available to him, so nice gank once again. Cuba Fred on Thor, he's just a sight worth seeing. He's so good on that god.
Doing absolutely fantastic right now. You know, the ults coming out from the Sanitary are on point, but they're just not enough. He can't exactly rotate, but you know, his team just needs to pick it up. Zimstar is here lurking, looking to make something happen on adapting because he knows the middle lane isn't there.
Boxing fight. Breaking out on the left-hand side. Durgis around the area, but immediate disengage from Smek. Zimstar's in the area, but can he get there in time? Actually going to force out the ultimate from Smek as well, so that's a nice win overall from i5, and a good decision from Smek. Yeah, I mean, it's better safe than sorry.
Exactly. It wasn't needed. Smek could have gotten out of there alive, especially with Zimstar providing the cover, but just being careful is better than dying for nothing. So good play right there.
Oh, Durgis takes so much damage from Cuvo there. Cuvo just turns up, and now the Cataclysm's been forced, and Sanitary's in trouble, but adapting, rotates in again. Zimstar's under pressure, but Lobster's here in support. Keeping on that as World Weaver connects onto Zimstar of all people, and now adapting's the one being focused down. The burst is really high, but now Lloydie turns up. Everyone's still alive. Big root coming out from Sanitary, but Zimstar's still alive. The fire rates, and now Smek back in this fight again. Lloydie wants to continue the chase. Nobody dies.
Lot of violence for no deaths again. Saw that earlier in the match, and 12 minutes in, folks, we do have a kill lead by the way of TSM. 4 kills. Right now, the lead as far as the points are also in their favor. 1,500 gold difference, 26 as well. But right now, Kronos is getting very testy in this right hand. He's lost his tower already. He takes away his enemies. And now Rewind is through the enemy ult. Great time to rewind.
And now Advert looking to continue the aggression on Game Hunter, who's going to have to disengage for now. Not going to have his stun available. Just wasted on minions there, backing away. But this game is so close between these two teams. Golden Experience both in favour of TSM, but i5 not giving up. They're going to get caught out though. Both the jungler and the support are in trouble. They're just trying to run away. Adapting goes down to Cuba Fred again, who's having an amazing game. Lloydie trying to help out his team, but they're just going to drop him as well with the dunk from Cuba one more time. Picking up the double kill, and that's going to be a Gold Fury.
Cubo is playing absolutely lights out. He gave up the first kill that Team SoloMid, he gave up the first death that Team SoloMid had overall in the middle lane by biting off a little bit more than he could chew. But every single other play has been on point. 5 kills, 4 assists. Only the single death that we saw in the 4th minute of the game. Fantastic play coming out from Cubo. And if i5 doesn't do anything about this 4,000 gold lead after the Gold Fury is just going to get more and more. And Cubo Fred will not be able to be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at how the game's panning out right now, and some of this comes down to the picks and bans. I think Sanitary's been taken way out of his comfort, not necessarily out of his comfort zone, but off the sort of gods he likes to play in the Hunter role. He likes to be more aggressive. And with Artemis being banned away, Apollo taken away from him, and then on top of that, they took away Ul as well. He had to resort to the likes of Neath to make sure he had someone that's considered a top-tier pick in the Hunter role. And it's not the sort of Hunter he'd like to play. He's not got the early game aggression that he'd like to really do.
I do like the. You're right. i5 was definitely punished a little bit with respect to their Hunter pick, but I love the Mercury pick. We're seeing a little bit more of that, but he's still not what I would call a popular Hunter, and adapting can play it very well. He's making use of the sonic booms, and I think that's where we're seeing the addition of Kret. Kret is now the coach for Team i5, and you saw that, as I said, I think the Mercury pickup is a direct representation of that. It's smart, and it's putting them to the next level, and he's getting it out right now.
Adverse in trouble right now as Zimstar's rotated all the way over. He's trying to get off as much damage as he can with the recall demons, but Lobster's even covering the option as well that if anyone rotated in, Adverse just going to drop down. And with the Gold Fury being down, that was TSM just exploiting the map there, F-Dot, knowing that they weren't going to lose anything across the map from that gank going on, and i5 just could not respond.
i5 was not able to respond at all. In that case, we'll see how they respond as we go on to that situation, because now the gold is it's slowly ticking up, Hinduman. Before we were talking about a very small lead, then we were talking about a larger lead, and the lead is just ticking up. Previously 4,100 about a minute ago. Now it's 4,500. It's just going up, and i5 has to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, they really do. And against TSM, I mean, trying to claw back a lead is a big ask against a team like TSM, who are very well known for never giving up a lead without a really hard-fought fight. You've got to make a big play to take a lead away from them. And you can see they're looking for a gank on Sanitary as the aggression from Smek again. The dunk down. He's going to use the backflip, but Zimstar's waiting with the taunt. Immediate beats uses. Dirge trying to rotate around, but that wall from Cubo's going to block off his exit. But for how long is he going to say we have to find it? They are. They're so beautiful. Connects, as does the hammer from Thor. Cubo, 5 kills, Sonic Boom connects!
Adapting's in here. He gets the Sonic Boom on two people. Cubo and Zimstar brought down to half
Game
HP.
Hunter.
Almost from that move alone. But here comes the entire team. SoloMid. 5 men in this duo lane trying to siege this tower, providing support for the rest of their team. Only 3 members of I5 here to play defense. This tower should go down.
Yeah, he will do. And then watch Cubo cut off the option. Lloydie's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to use the crushing wave aggressively. Get 1 kill, but trade with Game Hunter. And now we can see Advert rotating in, trying to force a disengage. Finds himself 1. The recall demons are doing good work, but Game Hunter's got the rewind online. Doesn't need to use it for now. But the tower stands, and that wasn't too bad for I5.
That was a fantastic play for I5. They came out and they got an even 2 for 2. Sanentry, of course, died, but he died previously in an almost separate engagement. They went 2 for 2 with a 5-man push against 3 members of their team. Really fantastic defense coming out from I5. The tower stands. Not even a scratch on that tower past what was already done. So
the bait.
TSM hiding behind the corner. Here they come.
Looking for it with Zimstar coming in once again with the recall that we talked about earlier. Dirge is in trouble. He's going to go drop down Advert. Not got recall demons this time around, but Game Hunter's got the ages for the time in the Sanitary. Trying to do work, going to find the rewind off. And now Sanitry's going to back away as Apollo's rotating in there. Smek coming in with the So Beautiful. Not going to connect. But TSM with the rotations coming out from those global ultimates. And that's what you mentioned at the start, F. Dot, of how Athena can go back to base and jump straight back into a fight once more.
Yep, she can go ahead and take the brunt of the damage for her team back to heal it up completely and then continue in the engagement. And in addition, bring some extra damage. Smek can sort of do the same thing. He's going to go ahead and back after clearing the wave. He's got a little bit of a lead on Sanentry, so I think he's all right.
It's 15-5 right now in terms of kills for TSM. Tower-wise, all towers are equal. Only the right-hand side tower for both teams is down for the moment. Gold Fury, 1 in favor of TSM, and you can see how all this is played out in terms of golden experience. So gold 4,600 in favor of Team SoloMid, 7,000 in terms of experience. And right now, Gold Fury is due to spawn very shortly, and that's why you can see Zimstar just clearing out a ward in preparation for that one, because that will be the next point of contention. Any moment that TSM get an opportunity to, they're going to go for it and keep an eye on I5, because they will make a stand against it, as Durgis is going to meet Zimstar in the jungle there. She plays as a ward.
Team SoloMid still maintaining this 4,000-ish gold lead right now, specifically at 4,800. We see Adapting and here Adapting loading up that Sonic Boom. Unfortunately for I5, so does Zimstar, so he's not going to get caught out walking around the corner around Gold Fury. And Adapting and Advert don't have anywhere to go. They're just wandering around in their own jungle.
This is a big issue right now. Advert level 15 compared to Game Hunter level 17. Sanentry level 16 compared to Smek, who is still 16 but slightly ahead. Lloydie's level 16. Lobster's level 18. So you can see that most of the lanes right now are all in favor. As Lloydie's going to get caught in the middle, has to use a combat blink immediately to disengage. Actually, it wasn't combat blink, just rank 1 blink, so that's going to have a very long cooldown on that one. As Cuba Fred looking to aggress left-hand side again.
Teams looking for something to do, and right here I think is one of the issues that I5 is having. Before we were talking about, hold that, Lloydie is going to ult onto the wrong side of the tracks, caught out by the entire Team SoloMid. He's going to get eliminated after that wave comes out. Cubo's up in the air, Smek's down on the ground, Game Hunter goes down to the side of Adapting, but there's more violence. Zimstar goes down with a... That's going to be going the way of I5 at the moment.
This is close. This is so close, but Smek and Cubo trying to do work on Sanitary. Adapting and rotating. Durgis just backs away from this one. Overall, looking to live, and that allows TSM to clear this one up as Durgis just backed away. He was too low to fight, left his teammates, and the double kill goes over to Smek, and that's going to be a Gold Fury. Can Durgis get back, though, to salvage this with the Gold Fury steal? Well, yet to be seen, but the damage from those two should be enough F-Dot to drop it before he gets there.
That was a really good fight for I5. They started out fantastically. I thought they were going to seal the deal. Team SoloMid just mechanically came out. Cubo played despite the fact that he was low. He stayed in. They took out Sanentry. They forced Durgis out. That was probably the most important part of that fight, forcing Durgis out of it. and then they went ahead and grabbed the Gold Fury.
I mean, I think Durgis used everything he had. He had no mana left to his name at all, and I don't think he would have had his cooldowns up. He was very low, would have been focused down. But maybe staying in that fight could have benefited his team because they would have focused him for a moment just to take him out, and that could have given his time, his team the opportunity because they had that one extra man advantage to try and turn and to keep that fight in their favor. But overall, TSM come out on top, 19-8 now on the scoreboards, and with that Gold Fury going in their favor again, it's starting to become an even bigger deficit for i5 to come back from.
Yeah, Cubo Fred is playing one of the better games I've seen him play in recent memory. Never a bad jungler for sure, but 9-2-8 right now. We take a look at the numbers. His player damage, he's sitting at 16-8. Almost 17,000 player damage. That's going to be the most overall in the game. He's got 5,000
so involved.
More than Agni as a Thor. That's insane.
He's been so involved all game long and has just controlled this game from the outset as Cuba Fred. Ever since we saw the first blood drop, he then came back for the second blood in the duo lane, in the solo lane, and he's just kept the pressure on from that moment. You can see he's quite happy to roam around now and look for fights consistently. Adapting still wants to fight, but he's going to find the whole of TSM waiting for him if he goes in with that Sonic Boom.
Yeah, i5 has 3 members on this tower. That's the smartest way to do it right now as Team SoloMid rotates at the 3-man group towards the middle lane. They're going to wait here? No, they're just going to show their faces. Lloydie's going to be forced to stay on his tower. Going to go ahead and clear. Might even head towards, but Mercury's made the rotation.
Yeah, 2 players to defend against a full minion wave. Durge is going to be a little bit late. A bit of poke going out. As you can see, Zimstar going aggressive. The taunt and the wall connects. A lot of damage on the Dabson. He's going to just fully disengage as Durges tries to zone them away from the tower. Nobody's going to die. The tower's going to stand for now, but a nice bit of poke coming down from that. And look at this from Cubo Fred. Already he's going up. He's rotating straight left. Going to look for the donk. I feel if he can find out Sanitary, he will go for it. Not going to find it, but the wall and Zimstar rotating in as well. Holy, that call was amazing. Just immediate. Rotate one side to the other. Pick up a kill. Get an advantage. And now Advert's going to try and make something back.
The ghosts are coming out of the bag. Zimstar taking a lot of damage from that ultimate. Here comes adapting. Down with the Sonic Boom. He grabs another person. That's going to be a death for Athena.
But Lobster
i5 has survived this again. Adapting is going to fall to the wayside thanks to Lobster. But i5 have defended this duo lane tower through thick and through thin. And they still do.
A game of counter ganks overall. We saw the aggression coming out from TSM, the counter gank from i5 to defend the tower, and the immediate rotation from Cuba Fred to go straight over the left-hand side, go aggressive on Sanitary, pick up that kill, and then once again, i5 came in with a counter gank play with Advert and Lloydie making a difference. This is really close. I mean, I know the golden experience and everything's going in TSM's favor, but if i5 can keep winning these small victories and stall this game long enough, then golden experience won't matter so much, F-Dot, if all these towers are still standing, because then everyone's going to be full build, full level 20, and then it's just going to come down to team fight and prowess and how close these games are right now, these fights. It could be anyone's. Yeah,
this tower is going to be tried to defend by Sanitary, but Smek should prove to be able to get this. Good Mez. Good Mez. There's the passive, able to come out. We've seen that play by a lot of Apollo players. Just, I'll mez you so I can do what I'm focusing on. I want to get the tower. Yeah. That's his number one. And, I really like this play by Smek, not only because it's the tower, but i5 was focusing a lot on that single objective. You could tell that they really wanted it to defend it. A lot of times when you're behind, it helps morale if you defend a single objective to the nth degree. That's what i5 was doing. It was helping out, and Smek recognized that and just went for the tower. Sure, maybe he just wanted to kill a tower, but that's the mindset of i5.
And just looking at the wall placements from TSM now, you can see a swing towards the Fire Giant area now. Putting down the sentries already. Game Hunters just cleared out a ward from there as well. So you can see what's in TSM's mindset now. They're positioning for the next fight to try and get something more out of it and being ready for the Fire Giant contest or the possibility of just being able to take it if the opportunity arises. As Durge is going aggressive against Smek, not going to find anything again with the rollout as he rolled in there to help clear the way with Sanitary. We're going to have a bit of a standoff for now. Gold Fury's up soon enough though, F-Dot, and once again we'll probably see a fight materialize.
So Cubo Fred has built fourth item, Oncule. It's an interesting choice. The base stats for Oncule are
Very
just
late.
20 physical power, but it does give him 50%, 50 magical protection. He's only died twice. He's not exactly getting stomped by the mages in this game, and it is a stacking item. It's going to stack all the way up to 30, which will bring it to 50 physical power. But it'll actually bring it up to 30, so that'll be 50 total physical power. but that's going to be a while, especially for a Thor in the jungle. So it's a curious 4th item pickup, but we'll see how it works out.
Well, I mean, with that build, he's got his core build in there with the Jotuns and the Hide of the Urchin picked up. And if you look at the team composition as well, F-Dot, he's going to be on the front line a lot. And against, you know, the short-range burst, massive damage from Hobwa, and you've got Zonkui to deal with as well, it kind of makes sense to go for a little bit more magic resistance against his composition. And if the game continues to go on as long as it is, because it is taking a long time this game, with the amount of towers going down. These fights are extended, but no real extra objective pressure on terms of towers are going down. This unseal could really pay off for him as the game goes on. Look at the aggression in mid again. Double tap connects. Lloydie takes a bit of poke once more. Gold Fury going to be contested now as TSM start to rotate for it.
TSM's looking at this Gold Fury. They know that they know that I5 really can't take a fight right now against them. Zimstar's going to rush in, only level 14, but it doesn't matter because the rest of his team is far from it. Thor's looking to land on somebody, landing in between, not getting the stun. Sanitary able to backflip out, but here comes adapting right through with that Sonic Boom.
Yeah, Sonic Boom did go off, but the beads was used immediately. Lobster's in trouble though as Lloydie tries to go aggressive, but great ages from Lobster's going to deny it for a bit. Burgess picks up like how Smelt ducks down onto Lloydie in response though. This fight's still going as rewind time used. Zimstar's very low. He's going to drop to Sanitary of all people. On the backside, Adapting's fighting Game Hunter and the ball very low. The age is going to stall for the time being. Smek picks up Advert off the back of the Game Hunter still alive. Behind the Gold Fury using it to protect himself. And TSM are coming out in this fight. Sanitary kept trying to take out Game Hunter. Didn't find the kill. Smek picks up a triple. And the Gold Fury's going their way. Or a quadra.
Mech grabs the quadra kill. He better be thanking Game Hunter. Game Hunter did not exactly do 0 damage. He wasn't the main source of damage, but he was the pinata that I5 had their sights on, and Smek just picked everyone off. That's gonna catapult, it's going to do whatever you want to say about the lead. 27.5 minutes into this game, the Gold Fury is down, so is the entirety of I5 with the exception of Durgius. A 5-figure lead for TSM, 10,000 gold in the lead, 15,000 experience as far as that's concerned. TSM is just going to look at the Fire Giant.
Getting a quadra kill in that, a lot of it, like you said, off the back of Game Hunter and being the healthy member of his team. You saw him rotate middle, take down the first tower, take down the second tower. Now his team can start sieging up the Fire Giant, and they're starting it already. The team is in a good position. Cuva Fred gets the back and forth of the Milanese available to him, and Spec rotates him across the sky to start up with the rest of his team. Fire Giant, TSM, full control.
You know, we've been talking a lot about Kivo Fred playing lights out. Well, how about Smek? 6-0 and 9 slash line right now, just doing everything right, noticing when his team is baiting for him and killing that, getting the towers and just playing lights out.
They play so well, TSM, right now. They're really having a great game overall. Like, if they've been playing like this all day, it's fantastic to see. It's good to see them back in the stride of all things, F-Dot, as well. Like, it's taken them a while to find this stride, get themselves to finals again, and it looks like they're going to go there again now.
Yeah, you know, you had that conversation with Zimstar earlier in the week saying they weren't going to take it lightly. This is definitely proof in the pudding. Definitely proof in the pudding. Team SoloMid has come out to play. Zimstar, 16 assists.
I could be Zimstar right now. Like, the rest of the team are playing so well. I could go on TSM's team here and be like, this is amazing.
It's very, very true. You know, these players are coming out. They're coming from all different directions. South, north. You know, speaking of the great north, what do you think about Canada, Hindu man?
I like Canada. It's my home away from homes.
I thought that's where you lived.
Sometimes, especially when production, you know, get involved, and I can come from Canada. However, talking about production quality, why did you decide to have your hairstyle to be like DM Brandon's? Were you trying to like copy him or something?
DN Brandon
is that the whole idea behind it?
No. Let's be real. I am the inspiration for all of Brandon's fashion.
Okay.
And so the hairstyle was actually a long throwback to mine. DM found my Facebook and snuck on, saw pictures of me, and decided that he wanted to look like me. So he went ahead and adapted my entire style, including the hair.
I see. And with that being said, is he from New Jersey? Is that right?
Of course. That's why I'm better than him.
And you're from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm trying to understand because my American TV show knowledge, all I know is that Jersey sucks and everybody from New York hates them. That's confirmed, right? That's what Have I Met Your Mother told me. I'm learning. But anyway, guys, we're back into this game again, 26-12. I5 are really have their backs against the wall as TSM just took down the Fire Giant, and that last fight for Smek gave him the quadra kill that now puts him in such a great position. Look at him split pushing this left-hand side. Someone's going to go and deal with him as the rest of the team look to the right-hand side now from TSM. They're looking for the split push, and this is a great call from TSM.
100%. All of I5 are stuck here on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, TSM pushing this right. They're going to be able to help and just take it. No defense can be made. They have a Hunter. They have a Kronos. It's already dead. And they're going to continue to push on to the Phoenix.
Yeah, continue on down this right-hand side. There's not a lot that I5 can do about these outer towers. They've just got to give them up. Sanitry's doing his best just to keep Smek busy for the time being. But can the rest of his team hold out without him? That's the question. Well, Sanitry's going to give up this tower now. And Sonic Boom being charged. Is it going to be an engage? No, there's not, because Game Hunter's already taken out Advert in a split of a second. And Dirge just rolls in to find his teammate down. And the back's against the wall. 4 members here. Smek's free farming left lane. He's going to get a free Phoenix unless someone does something.
Well, he doesn't have any minions for a long while, so unless he wants to tank it, it's not going to come. I5 has backed off of this Phoenix. They're going to let TSM push in, and right here, it's going to go see what's happening. But Mecha's just able to wait. I5 is going to respond in spades to this Phoenix, so they're not going to be able to touch it. But not the same can be said for the Phoenix that Smek is about to take all by himself. There it goes. The first Phoenix of the game taken down at 30 minutes, and I5 doesn't even realize.
That wall from Cuva Fred was fantastic. It stopped the engage immediately, because that's what I5 wanted to do. They realized they wanted to fight, but TSM being so smart, just back away. They don't continue the siege. They back away like, okay, cool, we got it. Let's all lane switch now. Smek, which lane do you want to take down next? You want mid? You want right lane? We'll go back, get some items, and then we'll siege one more time, because we've got Phoenix pushing. Sorry, we've got super minions pushing now in the left-hand lane. Those fire minions are going to start wreaking havoc if it's not defended.
Definitely. Team SoloMid is going to come down, and I5 is going to go ahead and defend this middle Phoenix. Zimstar right here. Team SoloMid is just going to make the siege. They're going to do the same thing they did to that tower. It's
Dirges.
Great stun coming out from Dirges. That's going to protect it, but just for an extra second. There's the ult from Lloydie. Advert going to take down Lobster. Smek from the skies. Going to just barely miss adapting, but he's going to chase him anyway. So beautiful. Gets the kill, and the fight reigns on.
The fight reigns on, but for how long? As there's only one member outside of the base standing, and that was Dirges. He's not standing long as the second Phoenix now drops. Where it looks like TSM is going to end. Hubwatch is going to stand there with Sanitary and be like, this one's over. There's no coming back for this one. TSM going to move on to the final this week, and they're going to be facing Cloud9 in the final. So it's about time we get to see these two big boys, first and second seed after finally reaching the finals again together.
Yeah, the old standard of Cloud9 versus Team SoloMid was something that we were used to seeing in the finals over and over. Cloud9 won that game maybe 45 seconds before this game ended. They ended in tandem, Hinduman. Production told us that it was just fantastic how these two teams worked out. Story of the... I5 played well, but Cuva Fred and Smek happened.
Cuva Fred from start of this game, Cuva Fred basically just went crazy in that lane, landed the double tap, picked up a kill, then straight after that got the second kill on adapting, put it behind, but here's the quadra kill on the screen right now. Talk us through it after.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Cuva Fred did amazing during the early game and just handed off the game to Apollo in the mid and late game. Here we see right in front of the Gold Fury, Apollo's going to go ahead and check down these individuals with the basics, throws at a so beautiful here or there, and then God Hunter just hides behind the Gold Fury, allowing Apollo to go ahead and grab everything that he can off the dinner table.
I just juking in and out all the time. It's like, oh, I'm this side of the Gold Fury, I'm this side of the Gold Fury. Why you hitting the Gold Fury, bro? Why you hitting the Gold Fury? As your teammates die around you, that's what happened. And TSM putting on a performance this week. The other thing to talk about, though, F. is that third and fourth place match is going to be very important. We're going to see SK Gaming versus I5 now facing off, and these two came in at joint fifth position.
Right.
And that's going to mean that whoever wins this is going to move up to fourth, I'm pretty sure, this week. They will go clear fourth position because Agilitas has gone out, obviously, in the early rounds. We saw that one happen. So SK Gaming versus i5 in the losers bracket. We'll see which one comes out in a fourth position, especially closing the gap on Team Coast Blue as well, who went out during the early stages.
Yeah, it's exciting that even our third place match is going to be exciting, but we're going to watch what could prove to be even more exciting, a best of three between two of the largest names in the SWC. Don't forget, you can hashtag SWCS to give us your opinions on the upcoming finals. Cloud9 HyperX versus Team SoloMid. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.